Hello students, so in this video we will be discussing important MCQs for the cost management scenarios for your AWS Solution Architect exam. The first question is, a company runs 1000 EC2 instances for their e-commerce platform with 500 instances that are running 24 by 7 and the rest 500 instances are running only during the business hours. So to optimize the cost, they considered reserved instances. Which reserved instance strategy will be the best for cost saving here? See, these reserved instances are of different types that can be standard, convertible, scheduled or on-demand instances. But we are seeing that they have already considered reserved instances. So in that too, we will be focusing on convertible reserved instances. Why? Because 500 of the 500 of the EC2 instances are fixed. They are constantly running 24 by 7 and the rest 500 only are running during the business hours. So we will be focusing on the convertible reserved instances with a 3-year commitment for 24 by 7 instances. With this, we will be seeing this convertible reserved instances, they provide up to 54% discount as compared to that of on-demand pricing. And we are seeing that they will be for 3 years, then means higher discounts. Then with this convertible reserved instances, we can increase the number of these fixed instances and we can reduce the number of these instances that are required fixed. So it will provide us significant cost saving. Next, there is a startup that uses AWS Lambda for serverless computing and processes 10,000 events per hour. To optimize the cost, they consider AWS pricing models, which AWS model charges or which model charges based on the actual usage here. So direct question, which model charges based on the actual usage? So we saw that for AWS Lambda, pay as you go is the best way to proceed. Correct? So pay as you go pricing charges based on the actual usage. There will be no upfront commitment here or termination fees. This is best for the unpredictable or variable usage. For unpredictable or variable usage, pay as you go for AWS Lambda is the best suited method. Next, a company uses Amazon's S3 for data storage and has 100 TB of infrequently accessed data. To optimize the cost, they consider S3 storage classes. Which S3 storage class is suitable for infrequently accessed data? See, so as it is a infrequently accessed data and the data is very huge, 100 TB of the data is there. So for infrequently accessed data, which is the best way? That is Amazon Glacier, right? This will provide us with the low cost data archiving, right? We can store the data at a low cost. This will also provide us, and this is used basically when we are not regularly constantly accessing the data, we are accessing it whenever only required. So there will be an infrequent access data, correct? And this will integrate, Amazon Glacier will integrate with your S3 for data lifecycle management, and this supports data retrieval within 3 to 5 hours, that we do not immediately need the data, correct? So this will provide us the data within 3 to 5 hours and it is cost effective for long-term usage, right? Where we want to store data for a very long time and a huge amount of data is there, correct? But we are not frequently accessing the data. So Amazon Glacier. Next, a company runs 500 EC2 instances for their big data analytics workload and wants to optimize the cost. Which EC2 pricing model will be the best here? So 500 instances for big data analytics. For big data analytics, the reserved instances will be used here, right? This will provide up to 75% discount on reserved prices, correct? And it will be the best way to proceed ahead. Next, a startup uses AWS for their mobile app and wants to optimize cost. So which AWS provide the cost-effective mobile app development? So for mobile app development and cost-effective mobile app development, it will be AWS Amplify that will be the best, right? This AWS Amplify will be the best method to provide cost-effective mobile application development, right? This will simplify your app development as well as the deployment. This will integrate with AWS services. This will be scalable. It will provide secure application and it will also reduce the development cost. Next, a company uses Amazon DynamoDB for NoSQL database and wants to optimize the cost. Which DynamoDB pricing model will provide the best cost saving. So best cost saving, reserved capacity, always the reserved will be the providing the best, because in this reserve we are committing for a long term, for almost 2 to 3 years we are committing here. So when we are committing for such a long term, the discounts that we are provided on these services will also be high. It will be, and these reserved instances, right, or these reserved capacity that we are using are basically when we know or when our work is predictable. Correct. So for predictable workloads, these reserved capacities are used. This will provide significant cost saving and will be also helpful in capacity planning also. So reserved capacity. Next, a company runs 1000 EC2 instances for web application and wants to optimize cost. Which EC2 instance will provide the best price performance ratio? Among the following, if we see, the best option here is compute optimized, right? 1000 EC2 instances for the web application and for cost management, for best price performance will be compute optimized, right? This will provide the high performance computing. Correct. It will be best, compute optimized will be the best for compute intensive workloads, right? It will provide us with the best price to performance ratio, right? And also this will reduce our computing cost. This will be scalable and also will provide secure application, right? So compute optimized will be the best for performance. If you want better performance, compute optimized is the way to go. Next, a startup uses AWS Lambda for serverless computing and wants to optimize cost. What will be using here? Or which AWS service provides cost-effective Lambda function execution? As we simple, AWS Lambda. So these were your important MCQs. For more such MCQs, stay tuned with us. We bring daily such MCQs for your exams.